Hello, hello. How you guys doing? I hope everybody's doing well and is healthy. And are you guys getting some rest? Those of you that aren't working, are you making some good Zen time out of it, hopefully, or catching up on your to-do list? So anyway, I'm making a collab here today with my friend over at Homemaking with Marissa. And she has a nice channel where she shares a lot of kitchen tips and cooking and things like that. And so we decided we were going to do a collab. And we were going to share with you 5 kitchen hacks. So stay tuned, and I'll share mine with you. And a couple of them don't cost you anything. In fact, it's using kitchen scraps, things that you might normally throw away. And especially nowadays, you got to keep pretty much what you have because you never know. But I want to keep this on the light side. In fact, I want to keep my channel on the light side. The news goes on and on. So I figure I don't need to report more news because I'm sure you all know what's going on. So anyway, without further ado, I will share my kitchen hacks with you, and then I'll be back at the end of the video. And see you then. Hi guys, this is frozen guacamole. I made it into the guacamole. You put it in a small container, very small container, or whatever size you want, and you seal it off with plastic wrap. And then I put the lid on. You pop it in the freezer, and then you just take it out and thaw it right before you want to eat it, and it's beautiful. It's nice and green. So if you ever have too many avocados that are getting soft, make it into guacamole, and you're all set to go. And I got this tip from the Frugal Minimalist. I'll link her channel below. She's got a lot of great tips, and so that's one of my kitchen hacks. Here's another kitchen hack. So whenever I have celery, you always have these little celery leaves hanging out. So this morning I washed these and I took them off the celery stalks, trying to use up the celery that I have. So I just put these on a towel and I leave them at room temperature, usually 3 or 4 days, and then they dry up and then they turn out like this. Nice and dry. So they're all dried up, even the little stalks. So then what I do is I take the dried leaves and I grind them up in my little food grinder. You can use either a coffee mill or you can use your bullet. And then what I do is I take some sea salt and I add it to the sea salt, and it makes celery salt, and it really smells good. So I already made a batch of this. I kind of make an ongoing batch. So once this is all dry, I'm going to put more salt in here and I'll add a little bit more celery leaves, and it's really tasty. And you can use this just like regular celery salt. So out of scraps that a lot of people will throw away, that's what I do. And you can do that with onions. You can do it with green onions. You can do it with regular onions. You would probably need to dehydrate a regular onion, but I've done it before where I've taken green onions and just cut them up, put them in a bowl, and let them dry for a few days, and it turns out great. And then you can make onion salt too. So don't throw away all your scraps. Try and use them up, because that's saving money. If you buy celery salt, you're going to pay way more than free. So that's another one of my kitchen hacks. Here I am making fertilizer for my garden. I'm going to have a patio garden in my little urban garden out here in my townhouse. And these are dried banana peels. I dried those in a 170-degree oven, and they're very crunchy. And I'm going to grind these up. And these are eggshells that I save and break up. And I'm going to do the same thing with these that I do with my celery. Going to put them in my bullet, grind them up, and then I'm going to feed them to my plants, and they like them. And I'm also, for my acid-loving plants, I'm going to put some coffee grounds in with those. And here those are. Every morning when I drink my coffee, I have a Keurig, and I have these little K-cups that I refill. And then when I'm done, I just pour the grounds in here, let them dry, and I feed them to my acid-loving plants. So that's another kitchen hack that I do all the time. And out of garbage, I make something useful. Good morning. Okay, so here's another hack. I figured out a way to stretch my coffee. My favorite is Folgers hazelnut decaf. So I filled my coffee pod 3/4 full, and now I'm going to put it on the largest setting. If you have a Keurig, this works. I don't know what you're going to do if you don't have a Keurig, but I'm going to choose the largest cup of coffee. Okay, now when this coffee is done, it's going to be almost full. It's the largest setting there is. And then what I'm going to do, okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to drink my coffee and put my things in it as usual. Now what I'm going to do to stretch this coffee out, because I don't know how long we're going to be stuck in the house, I'm going to leave this just as it is. The coffee pod's still in there, and when my cup of coffee is 3/4 of the way done, I'm going to put it back under here. I'm not changing out the pod, I'm leaving that the same, and I'm just going to pick the very smallest, which I think is 4 ounces, and I think that's for espresso. And that way I have another full cup of coffee. But the thing is to leave a little coffee in your cup, like maybe 3/4 full. And that way you get a 1.5 cups of coffee instead of just 1 cup, and it stretches your coffee a little further. So that's another kitchen hack I'm doing while this whole virus thing is going on, and I don't know when I'm going to go out to the store. Okay, so that's another kitchen hack. So I heated up this little bit of coffee that's left in my mug. Not much, it has some creamer in it. So now I'm just going to put this back over here and use the smallest setting, and then I will have another full cup of coffee. So there I have another full cup of coffee. Stretching my coffee in this downtime where we're kind of on a lockdown. So if you're running low on coffee, give this a try if you have a Keurig. All right, right, my friends, this is my final kitchen hack for today. Here's some of my eggshells that I ground up, nice and fine. Those also work well for your garden if you leave them a little bit coarser and sprinkle them on top of your veggies. It keeps the snails away because they're rough. The shells are rough and the snails don't like it. So here, these are my 2 little lemon trees that I saved some seeds from, and they're growing nicely. So those are lemons. Here I took a slice of tomato, just any old store-bought tomato, and put it in the ground, and I planted these on the 15th of February. And they're coming along nicely, and some of these little plants are even starting to get their second leaves. And I keep these in front of a bright window. There we go. So those are coming along nicely. And over here, I've started planting my green onions that I bought at the store. And as you can see, they're starting to grow. I have more that I'm going to put in here. And these are just sitting on my dining room table. And this is a little celery that I planted. So these will all go in the garden except for the lemons. I'll just put those in a little bit bigger pot pretty soon. So keep some of your kitchen scraps and make a little garden. Now you can keep some of these inside, like these, and the lemons. The tomatoes will need to go out. Just make sure you keep them watered. Feed them every once in a while. And make your own garden fertilizer. I'm going to put some of the banana peels in there. I haven't ground those up yet, but I plan on doing that pretty soon. So that's my last kitchen hack for this video. And I'll see you in a little bit. And I'll be right back. So now that you've watched my video, head on over to Homemaking with Marissa. She has a lot of nice content on her channel and a lot of nice kitchen hacks and kitchen ideas and recipes. I'll leave her channel below and enjoy her video. So I hope you guys enjoyed my hacks and might have found a couple of them fun. And if you did, consider giving me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like the content or the things I'm sharing. So I hope everybody's healthy and staying safe. And I just wanted to say, I love you guys. I wish you abundant blessings, and I'll see you next time.